One of the very hardest things for young entrepreneurs, and when I say young, by the way, just as a means of definition, I don't necessarily mean the age you are as a person, but where you are in your cycle as a business owner. So maybe I should say new, but that newness lasts longer than you'd expect. So I say a young business owner. When a young business owner first starts out, a lot of times they believe that there's a certain person out there or a certain skill set that's gonna fix the problems they have in their business. The reality is that nobody you hire, and I wanna say like with very few exceptions, but the reality is with literally no exceptions, is going to care about your business as much as you do. And it's not because there's no one out there who's a good person. It's not because there's no one out there that goes above and beyond. It's because ultimately speaking, no one woke up with the dream of running your business. If somebody is really, really entrepreneurial and has that grind, in the end, they'd love their name on the building. That's sort of the art of balancing someone who wants to get further ahead and keeping them long enough to sort of benefit from that and also giving them some benefit. But the biggest mistake that we make as young entrepreneurs is thinking that other people can fix our problems by joining our team. The reality is that falls on us. And I think that can cause a lot of resentment, which you gotta work through. Employees are, in some ways, going to be hurdles between you and what you're trying to get done. Again, I think if you're honest with yourself, it's not that they're not as good as you or that they don't get it and you get it. It's that the current thing that you guys are all doing as a team is trying to execute the stuff that's in your head. So if it was them calling the play and you were part of the team, you actually would be less effective also. You're trying to read sort of what somebody else wants. And again, that's why we always go back to executing game plans. I teach all my managers to create every system as though the person who is going to be using the system is brand new and has literally no idea what we do. Because if there is a way to screw it up, chances are somebody will find a way to screw it up. And again, I want to be clear, not because they don't care, not because they're not intelligent enough, but simply because they don't read our minds. So you take for granted that somebody understands what it is that you're talking about. I do this all the time. I do it even with my wife, where I'll get to talking about something and then I realize, like, hold on a second, Av, you didn't give like a preface before you got rolling. So you think that she understands what you're talking about, but you didn't give her an important piece of information. Now you're sitting here and you're wondering why they can't catch up with you. So again, and this is a philosophy that I hammer down and keep coming back to, is the very first place you should ever look whenever things are going poorly is in the mirror. So the question is, did you create a system that was clear? Did you communicate that system? Did you give people benchmarks to measure their success through your system? Does everyone in the room understand the system? If those things aren't all true, then the reality is there's too much room for failure. And it can appear as though everyone else is failing. And you can very clearly, as a leader, through your body language, through the way that you carry yourself, make everyone feel like they're failing, and they might even mirror back an acceptance of that failure. But ultimately, it's your failure. And that isn't just like in wording. That's not just saying, hey, I'm the leader, so it's all on me. No, the reality is you're the leader and it really is on you. And you have to fix it. At the end of the day, if a troop of soldiers go into war with a bad battle plan or battle plan that not everybody understands, they're going to lose that battle. And you can believe that there are soldiers that if they'd just done something differently would have changed the result. But ultimately speaking, you need everyone on that battlefield to understand the plan, to buy into that plan, and to be trained on that plan.